we got to clear the air here. Jameson Williams has been under a lot of fire from fan base, and rightfully so or not. You know, he got paid, and then people don't think that they're good enough, or he's good enough, or whatever it is. But Johnny Morton came out and he talked about Jameson Williams and his lack of production so far this year for the Detroit Lions. And here's what the offensive coordinator of the Detroit Lions had to say.
I'm not going to let you know that, but yeah. I looked at everything as far as that. I'm going to do a better job with that. But there has been opportunities where it just didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we ain't going to try to target him. So that was the biggest thing. So I looked at everything, and I failed him. That's what I told him, you know what I mean? I have to do a better job with that. But it's a two-way street, you know what I'm saying? So we were definitely looked at that.
How's he responded, though, as far
He's
as
great.
like?
Listen, man, this guy, he's awesome. He doesn't say anything. He just goes and plays. Like I said, I wouldn't fault you if you're pissed at me. You know what I mean? And because I've coached that position. I played that position, you know what I mean? And I know he works too hard. But, you know, we got to make sure that we're going out and doing the right thing, the right techniques and this and that. It's not just him, it's everybody. You know what I mean?
John, when did you guys have that conversation, and just what was Jamo's reaction to the things that you shared?
He was great. He was great. He was, "Hey, don't sweat it, you know what I mean? I'm like, listen, man, I'm going to do a better job. That's my job during the bye week, you know, because I stayed here and that was my job in third down to really study that and just create how do I get him open, you know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of, especially on third down, they're doubling Saint, they're doubling him. There's a lot of stuff that's going on. So I have to be creative. I have to go in the archives, you know, to try to get these guys open better.
That was Johnny Morton talking about Jameson Williams' lack of production in the Detroit Lions offense so far. And I loved it. I mean, that's a leader of men. That is a coach walking up to the podium and saying, don't go at JMO with this stuff. Stop talking about it. It's my fault. I failed him. I need to do better to get him involved more. But also saying, listen up, idiots. We're not just going to throw him the ball just to throw him the ball. He said if they're playing cover 2 high shell, if he is double teamed, if it's not there, they're not just going to chuck it up to him just to chuck it up to him. He also went on to say in this presser that Jared Goff has been making the right reads. Jared Goff has been making the right decisions. And if it's not open or if the pass rush is getting to him, it's not just wait for it to happen and throw it up there. No, it's check the ball down and get what you can. So it's a little bit of everything. Does Johnny Morton's play calling need to be better? Yes. Does the offensive line's protection on Jared Goff need to be better so they can have those deep breaking routes? Yes. Does Jameson Williams need to be a little bit better and when he gets the opportunities not drop a ball? Yes. So it's been a perfect storm of bad situations to have Jameson Williams kind of fall down in the pecking order of the Detroit Lions offense so far this season, but they've been working it out. They have gone into the bye week and made sure that they will do things to put him in situations where he can best have success. And in all of this, the Detroit Lions are still averaging 30 points per game. They're still one of the most elite offenses in the NFL, and they're still 5-2 on the season. So these things will work themselves out, and it's a combination of things to really get the production that you want out of Jameson Williams, even though the offense is still top 3 in the National Football League.
You know, this is what I loved about it is that you remember when he had that clip about the Packers game, right? And he's like, man, I don't want to talk about the Packers anymore.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, buddy, it's kind of your job, and the offense looked pretty bad. So you kind of got to address this. And this was a much better response. This was a response, like you said, it was all on him. He was taking a lot of the accountability for it. And yeah, I love to see that. I'm not worried about it. I saw what JMO said. JMO doesn't look too concerned at all. He's already been extended. And look, he's been saying this stuff for the last 1.5 to 2 years now. He's been saying when everybody's been trying to project this problem on JMO that he's this selfish diva, he's been the one saying, I got to do what I got to do to help the team win. I don't care as long as we're winning. And he's been saying that consistently for 2 years. So either it's a damn good acting job and a lie, or it's really the truth, and that is what he is, and that is what this Lions locker room is, and I'm betting on the latter when it comes to that.
And before we get to Nick and Kool-Aid, we've got a Jameson Williams clip that I want to follow right off of that, him talking about the routes and the catches and the production and things like that. But he did say when Jameson Williams said when he met with the reporters that those stories that he had that everybody was trying to blow up had nothing to do with football. And like he has said before, he's not worried about his target share. Here's what J-Mo had to say.
We spoke to Johnny Mo this morning. He's kind of just saying that he talked to you, during the bye week about potentially getting you the ball more and just show professionalism in that situation, man. Just talk about him, man. He was just saying he even thought that he failed you in a sense. Just talk about him as speaking up on your behalf and trying to get you involved a little more as well in this back end of the season.
Yeah, he came to me, expressed to me how he felt, and but with me, I really wasn't taking it too far into thinking about it. We was winning games and things like that, so I could never get myself too worked up with me getting the ball or me getting targeted, things like that. I know it's gonna come. It's a long season. We're a team that make it into the playoffs, so I knew things like that was gonna come. Me and him talked on the field yesterday before practice, and we just gotta understand how we're gonna move forward, and that's the best thing about it, I think.
You've been the man since Little League. I mean, just literally just playing and getting targets, man. Where did you learn that from, or have you leaned on anybody, or just that putting the team first?
I learned that probably from Teddy. When Teddy came around, things wasn't going my way, and he just told me to stay focused and keep moving forward. The life we live is different from others, and others want to be in the spot we in. So we can never take it for granted or get too worked up on ourselves about mishaps or when things not going right. You just got to keep going until eventually it's gonna get right.
What's it mean to have a coach say it?
Shout out Eric Woodward of ESPN Lions reporter there. Great clip of Jameson Williams. And I think the thing that stands out to me about Jameson Williams is he's never going to be A.J. Brown up there complaining for the football. And I think this is telling of just how big this culture has shifted and how much weight they have on just winning ball games. They would not have re-signed Jameson Williams if he had the mentality of A.J. Brown. That's flat out what it is. And I think Jameson Williams, I think everybody overreacts, and I have a tendency to do it sometimes as well. It's because how ugly it looks sometimes with Jared Goff and them not being on the same page. It's not just a ball that just is like simply placed maybe a couple of yards out of his reach. It's that they're not on the same page with some of the reads that, it could be an option on when he gets past the cornerback and there's a safety coming down and they're just not on the same page of which way he's going. Is he going straight or is he going to the post? So I think that's just the thing I want to see worked on. Because if you think about a guy like St. Brown, he has an 82%, completion percentage when targeted compared to Jameson Williams, where it's 56.7%. And I know Jameson Williams goes deep a lot more, so it is going to be lower, but you do want to see that number climb towards 65, 70%, because at times it seems like Jared Goff and Jameson Williams aren't on the same page in their routes, but it's not like, at times it does look like it's almost force-fed when he's trying to go to him late in games. Like I think about the last home game when it just looks bad at times. So I think that's why everybody overreacts. And you think about St. Brown with his 82%, Sam Laporta with his 80%, and then Jameson Williams with his 56.5%. So it's just, you want to see it get a little bit more clean in terms of Jared Goff and Jameson Williams on those reads when he is making when it's not just a set route. I think you've seen that with Laporta and St. Brown, that they are literally on the same page at all times. You just want to see Jameson Williams get to that same page.
Kool-Aid, final word on J-Mo?
Yeah, definitely. Last year they had these same type of media briefings with another player. His name was Sam Laporta. I believe that teams, when you put yourself on the map, what do we see with Cade Cunningham? That man's getting double, triple, and quadruple team out the gate. They full court pressing the Pistons. It's like, what are we doing? You got Jameson Williams, who he had some flashes one year. People say, but can Goff get him the ball? And then what did he do? He went out there and he put up the 1,000 yards. Now defenses are going to adjust to your offense and what worked last year. Sam Laporta was like, look, we're eating. So our offense is historic. And I think that that's the type of identity that JMO also has too. When you look at the stats this year where JMO is down, Sam Laporta already almost has he has 29 receptions. He had 60 all of last year. He's almost at half his receptions of last year. He's almost at half the yards he had last year too, and he already has a couple touchdowns. So I think that it's not necessarily I do believe I want to see them get on the same page, because I do believe that can help them too. But I do believe it's about how you play through this extra attention. Now that you're the man, you got the bag, you got put on the map, you got the 1,000 yards. You can be used in all types of ways. The Lions are saying you're going to be a weapon, and I do believe that really is what he's going to have to learn. So I think second half of the season, we'll see a Jameson Williams who's better responding to how they're probably defending him and the different looks that he's getting. It's no longer just streaking down the field and he passed one safe. Now it's like he's getting some pretty bold attention.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the Lions offense has not been, even though it's top 3 in the league, which is weird to say, it has not been fluid all season. And they've struggled in a couple ranges, and they struggle on third down. And we've got Johnny Morton talking about that coming up next.